What is up, you guys? This is All Danny Day 1 on the PS4, and I'm going to be giving you a best in slot video for Spider-Man. So, let's go ahead and start off by showing you what his two main attributes are. So, strength and fighting are his two main attributes. So, if you have any artifacts that give you strength or fighting, then I would highly recommend using those, just because that increases your base damage. And yeah. So let's go ahead and go to the legendary items. So the three legendary items I would go for, or you know, one of the three that I would go for is Hermes winged sandals, because your most of your build is going to be based around movement. The next one would be Savage Axe of Ares, which is a very well-rounded general melee build. And the next one is Shield of Perseus. Shield of Perseus is actually a pretty popular choice for Spider-Man because of the dodge rating and the rank 5 attribute. I mean, the health, defense, and the dodge are all really good for Spider-Man. But Savage Axe of Ares is a really, I would probably, for me, I would personally get the Savage Axe of Ares, just because it gives you increased damage in all that. And your base damage, your crit hit, for your movement speed, and for your movement powers, and brutal damage rating and brutal strike rating. The movement, the Hermes winged sandals is all movement based. So if you are using strictly movement abilities, then Hermes winged sandals would be good. But I mean, all three are still really good to use, so it doesn't really matter which one you choose, as long as you choose one of those three. So next thing we're going to go over is your medallions. So there are 6 different medallions that I use for, or that you can use for Spider-Man. So there's the Venom medallion, which you get from Venom. When you use hand-to-hand power, gain 482 health per second and 829 damage rating, 2 webbing powers for 10 seconds. It's 30-second cooldown. The Juggernaut medallion, every second moving increases your damage rating to movement powers by 100. Up to 1000 damage rating for movement powers, and you get this from Juggernaut as well, or not as well, but yeah. Living Laser. Well, okay, you know, I'll say where you get it. So with Venom, you get that in chapter 1 at the end of the first part of the story, in the police area, the police academy area, the precinct, I guess. The Juggernaut medallion, you get that from Church of Purification, that's where Juggernaut's at. And I'm pretty sure he's also in Castle Doom. He's one of the random 6 bosses. So, Living Laser medallion, when you use a movement power, gain 531 damage rating to ranged powers for 10 seconds, and it's a 30-second cooldown. So if you're using ranged and movement rather than melee and movement, this would be a good one to use for you, especially if you're using webbing too, I suppose. If you're using webbing, either Venoms or Living Lasers would be a really good option. But because most of your webbing abilities are ranged abilities. But yeah, this would be a good ability to use, or a good medallion to use for your ranged movement abilities. You fight Living Laser from the Castle Doom. I believe that's in the Danger Room. I believe those are the 2 only areas that you can fight him that will drop the medallion. So Lizard medallion, when you use a melee power, gain 366 health per second for 10 seconds. So this is good generally for any character. You get Lizard's medallion obviously from Lizard, but the only place I've been able to actually find him was the Danger Room as one of the bosses. So one of the random bosses or duplicate bosses, whatever you want to call it. So that's probably the only place where you can find Lizard. Man-Ape's medallion, enemies hit by leap powers are knocked down and take 10% more damage for 3 seconds. So this is a really good one to use if you're using your leap build. So it would be a good choice to use this as well if your leap build has like any type of knockdowns. Oh wait, no, hold on. Enemies hit by leap powers are knocked down. Yeah, so yeah, this would definitely be very useful for you. It'll be useful for Spider-Man and for Hulk because both of those characters use leap. Even She-Hulk as well, and I don't know if Colossus uses leap, but yeah, those this medallion would definitely help those characters out because it knocks them down. Manape, he's in the patrol, but you won't be able to get the medallion from patrol bosses. So either the supply shield drops or the danger room if he spawns in there for you. Remember, the danger room is random bosses too, so. The last one would be Rhino's Medallion. Your movement powers knock enemies down for 2 seconds. So again, another good one because it knocks enemies down when you use your movement power. It's only a 6-second cooldown though. So the Manape's Medallion would definitely be better. But yeah, so you get Rhino's Medallion from it's in chapter 2, I believe. He's the first villain showdown. So, and then next is your artifacts. So I'm using the cosmically enhanced superior spider mask, which you get from Doc Ock. If you want the cosmic version, you have to fight him on cosmic. If you don't mind not having the cosmic version, then you can fight him on any difficulty. Fist of Apocalypse, I'm not sure where you can actually get it. I only got one, and I only got this one from my shield supply box, but it's definitely a really good choice. Oh, you know what? Here, let me tell you why the cosmically enhanced superior mask is a really good choice, because it gives you dodge, health, gadget power, damage, but you don't necessarily need the gadget powers. But the other really good thing is when you dodge an attack, you gain 4 fighting for 10 seconds. So that's 16% base damage increase right there for 10 seconds, and it's a 10-second cooldown. So, and Spider-Man has built-in dodge. His passive defensive ability or stat is dodge and deflect, or dodge and defense. I know dodge is definitely one of them, and he also has 2 abilities that grants him dodge, like guaranteed dodge. So that would definitely help him out a lot, especially since you're going to be dodging consistently. You're going to be able to have that extra 16% fighting up almost all the time while you're in combat. Fist of Apocalypse, it's good because of the crit damage, health, and brutal damage rating, attack speed. So 10% chance when you hit with a melee power to gain 6.1% attack speed for 10 seconds. So that percentage will change, or the 6.1% attack speed might change for whoever. So yeah, and you also get 4 strength, so that's a 16% base damage increase. Ziggurat of Cargill, you get the crit damage, crit hit, brutal strike rating, and when you use a movement power, you gain movement speed for 20% for 5 seconds. So the other 5 artifacts that are really good to use for Spider-Man would be Advanced Crimson Crystal of Sidorak. Not just because of the +2 strength it has, that's a bonus, and not just because of that extra health, because that's a bonus too, but it's because of that 2% chance when you hit to create a shield which absorbs 6320 damage and 30-second cooldown. So that right there can definitely save you a lot in your trials runs. It's unfortunate that he doesn't have like amazing damage over time that takes every like 5 per second, whatever. But I mean, he can still get that to proc anyways. It doesn't matter who you use, because yeah, any hit can generally get you to proc that shield. And if you're doing trials, that shield will definitely help you out a lot if you're not having trouble doing damage, but you're having trouble staying alive. Crossbones teaching credentials. Oh, so the Advanced Crimson Crystal of Sidorak, you also get this from any drop. It doesn't matter where you are or what you do, you get it from any enemy. So Crossbones teaching credentials, one crossbows teaching credentials may be equipped, blah blah blah. Okay, so you get ranged and melee power damage, you get strength +1 to 3 strength, you get crit hit, brutal strike rating, and when you land a critical hit, you gain whatever amount of brutal damage for 5 seconds, and this effect stacks up to 3 times. So if you have, for example, if it says 500 brutal damage rating for 5 seconds, you get that stacked up 3 times, you're getting 1500 extra brutal damage rating. So this is definitely one to choose. I would definitely pick this up if you can. If you have it on, you can only get it from the patrol, from fighting crossbones, or the shield supplies. It will take a while to get crossbones teaching credentials from crossbones alone, but I mean, if you don't have the supply boxes and whatnot, or if you did get it and you just didn't get lucky with getting this artifact, then I mean, you might as well just farm crossbones. You can also get the cosmic version as well from crossbones, so just keep that in mind. The next one, Hood of the Reaper. I want to say this is Grim Reaper's artifact. I'm not 100% sure. I got this from my shield supply box, but I'm pretty sure you can get this from Grim Reaper as well. So it gives you health, fighting, so +4 fighting, which is really nice. So 1 to 4 fighting, psychic powers, which you don't need at all, but gain 100 health when you defeat an enemy, and you gain brutal strike as well. So all of these stats are really good, except for the psychic powers. That's obviously for someone like what's her face, Psylocke. It would be good for Jean Grey, but Jean Grey doesn't use fighting, I don't think. I think she's just, maybe she does, I don't remember. No, I think she's energy and intelligence. I don't remember. But anyways, yeah. So this is a really good artifact to use for sure. Cargo's rewrites. So this is always a really nice one to use because you get that plus 24% base damage increase, because it gives you that +3 to all attributes. What was it? You can get this from only, I'm pretty sure only from the shield supply boxes. I haven't seen any of these drop from anyone, and I haven't heard of any other players getting this artifact from any enemies or whatever. So I'm pretty sure you can only get this through the shield supply drops. And the last but not least artifact is the Gem of Curse. And obviously the Gem of Curse is one of the best artifacts to use because it gives you crit damage, crit hit, brutal strike, and brutal damage. If you can get the cosmic version and try to roll while in combat, your attributes are increased by 1. That would be really helpful or really useful. What I figured out was it doesn't stack. If you have two cosmic artifacts that have the same cosmic artifact affix, whatever, the talent, it won't stack. So if it says while in combat your attributes are increased by 1, they both won't activate at the same time. Like, I mean, they'll activate, but only one of them will technically activate, because I don't know why. It's pretty stupid, but I tested it and it didn't work. So, but I had a friend tell me that the defense, everything else stacks. I guess it's just not the attributes that doesn't stack. So, and you get this Gem of Curse from, what was his name? Well, obviously Curse from Odin's Palace. If you want the cosmic version, you need to do it on cosmic. It will take you a few runs. Some of you might get lucky and get it in your first run. Some of you might not get lucky and get it your 500th run. So, yeah. And that's really it for Spider-Man. If you have any questions, concerns, or whatever, go ahead and leave it in the comments. If you have any suggestions on what other characters you would like to see, go ahead and leave that down as well. If you have any other artifacts or medallions that you use, go ahead and put that down in the comments, and like put why you would use those, or put down if you're using a different artifact that hasn't been listed on here, go ahead and put down like what the artifact is and the description of it, so that way everyone will know and where to get it. And yeah, so this is all day in day 1 on the PS4. Have a good day, good night, and peace.